Hello, folks. How's it going? I haven't streamed from Windows in a long time, so let me know, A, if anyone is watching this in the chat, and if so, if y'all can hear both the game audio, which is currently lightly playing some music, as well as my voice. And yeah, I don't have the cool setup for monitoring the chat on screen the way that I do when I do WOD Wednesdays. So this might I'm pretty sure I worked out any technical glitches last time, but yeah. Alright, it says 3 viewers, and yeah, I'm seeing, yeah. Cool. Alright, well, I'll do my best to monitor the chat. Cool. Let me see if I can chat from my phone here, which is right below. Yep. Okay, well. Can y'all hear me? It looked like my voice was coming through in OBS, but cool. Well, where I was here is I was so there was a new update for no game audio. If you did not see that, no, I did not. Okay, maybe see what we can do about that. Game audio. Nope, not that. Oh, that's video capture device, right? Properties. Oh yeah, how about this? Okay, yeah, that kind of looked like it was like something was coming through. How about now? You should be hearing an eerie sort of audioscape sort of thing for this eerie, strange planet. Got game audio. Awesome. Alright, cool. Well, yeah, let me know if my voice is too loud or too quiet relative to it, if either needs to be lower. So yeah, there was an update for this game. Came out this morning, and it adds a bunch of stuff. It added a whole lot of like just kind of visual variation to the game, which I think was a really good move. They took a survey last month about what all they should add to the game, and I think all of the items that you could select were things that they were already working on. They were just looking for like some guidance on prioritization, and I'm guessing that a lot of people picked like make things more visually varied and interesting and stuff, and they have done that. So it's a nice little update. Good to have on a day that I have off like this. So what I was doing, there's also a community research mission. They've been doing these lately, where you do different stuff for these 2 story characters in the world. It always involves some measure of like research. One week it was feeding animals. One week it was like, I don't know, digging up buried treasure. And this time it's just scanning plants. And the progress for this, I guess, is now global. So like we'll unlock different tiers of rewards or something. It's not, you know, and it's all basically just for cosmetic rewards, but it is cool, you know. doesn't feel the slightest bit, you know, exploitative or anything. It's just a cool thing that everybody who's playing the game can do together. So yeah, that's part what I was doing, and I also was just visiting exotic worlds, like, I forget what they call them, anomalous, corrupted, there's a whole bunch of adjectives that they use for them. I was visiting some of these stranger planets, because I wanted to see what all they had added to them. This type of planet had already existed before the update, like this strange hexagonal thing with like these giant plants and stuff. But I came to this one because there's like these little trophies you can get now. You can collect one on each type of anomalous world. And so I was trying to find like a little one of those ones for this hexagon world sort of thing. Because I think it's cool. And I ended up, I left off like at the bottom of this truly massive, oh yeah, see we've got a crappy, I made a bad move. I was just tooling around and fell way down to the bottom of like this Grand Canyon-like structure in the terrain. So you're definitely seeing some of the rougher parts of the procedural world generation. Oh, I didn't mean to take a screenshot. Okay. Overhead, we see the nice clouds that they added in the next update back in July. Okay, so now we've got a little bit more of a sense of like what the surrounding landscape I was in was doing. How do I tell my phone not to go to sleep? Because I'm looking at the chat on it. I guess I can go to let's see, display. 2 minutes of inactivity. I don't know. Sure. Alright. And this will run down my battery, I guess, but... yeah, so... yeah, I was just having a good old time on this planet, and I was looking for one of those little, Dealy-Moats. The little... they're trophies that you can collect from the world. You can, you know, they look very much like these standard plants and stuff, but you can disassemble them and then take them back and put them in your base. And I was like, well, I'm the kind of player of this game who just tries to explore everywhere possible, so having those trophies... there's not a whole lot of trophies and stuff like that that I actually care about in games in general, but that seems like the kind of thing that I would actually like to have in my base as a little memento of having been to this weird place. Yeah. Alright, so I'm using my scanner. When the screen goes blue like that, I'm going into my scanner view, which helps me find stuff at a distance. And because it usually that's when the little thingies show up, and there's like these mineral deposits and like some special goodies and stuff, but I don't really care about any of that. Another thing that this update added was creatures on these kinds of... there's plenty of creatures on relatively normal planets, whereas these anomaly worlds were always totally barren. And they are still relatively barren, but you will occasionally see... alright, that little green dot means that there is one. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, I think... yeah, these are the kinds of life forms that show up on these bizarre anomaly worlds. And yeah, this thing seems a little more skittish, but yeah, that's the kind of life form you run into. And it looks like night has... the sun is going down, night is falling on this strange planet. And yeah, it makes this sort of creepy sound. Like if you didn't know one of these was coming, it would just sound like somebody is like sneaking up on you. Which, given the overall strange, creepy vibe, would definitely not be something you want. Oh my goodness, am I really like 6 minutes away? Okay, well you know what I'm going to do? I am going to just call my starship down. Launch thruster's not charged. Well, how about I bring in a relatively new ship of mine. This is an exotic ship that I ran across recently. It's super fancy. Didn't actually cost me that much, all told. But yeah, I can go into third person here and show it off a little better. It's very fast and very maneuverable. It does not actually have a lot of carrying capacity at all, and I basically loaded it down with hyperdrive upgrades because I determined that the main value of this thing would be for long distance journeys, where I want to get like as much warp distance as I can out of each hyperspace jump. So yeah, let's see, where are we anyway? You know, I'm actually going to summon in my freighter here, just so that I can change back to my regular ship. Unless the game still considers it to be down on the planet, which wouldn't surprise me too much, but... My freighter base isn't especially cool. I'm not going to show it off the way that I was showing off, the way that I'll probably show off my my planet bases. Your actual building options for the interiors of freighters are a lot more limited. It's just like a few very basic room Lego and the usual kind of like storage and devices that you would need. So alright, so let's go to the nearest starport. Yeah, I'm bummed that I couldn't find a little Hex Planet trophy on that planet, but... How's everybody doing? I don't know how many of these folks watching are the regular WOD Wednesday crowd versus people who follow me on Twitter or Mastodon, or just people who wandered in from Twitch's page. I don't know. Yeah, I hope y'all are having a nice day. It's a holiday for some of us here in the United States. Welcome all. Hey. Cool. Alright, well, yeah, let's see. I don't think there's anything especially cool I can do in a starport aside from say hi to these weirdos. And yeah, let me hop in a portal here. Let's see, where should I go? Yeah, because I've been meaning to do a video like this for a while now, because I've amassed a few. Not all of the bases that I can warp to in this portal menu are mine. A lot of them are like just on planets that I've been to, but some of them are. So yeah, let me jump to this one first. So there's a thing called the Galactic Hub. It's a region of the galaxy, of the starting galaxy in No Man's Sky, where everybody decided to, where a lot of people who coordinate via the web and, you know, Discord and so forth, a lot of people decided a long time ago, actually, they've been doing this for a few generations of the game now, to all try to get to the same section of space, because the way that the game's procedural generation works is that when you go to a particular star system at particular coordinates, it has the same planets, the same like ships flying around, the same trade goods and all that kind of stuff. So even before the game added multiplayer last July, there was this, why is it raining in... It was raining indoors for a second there, okay. yeah, and so people converged on this area, and they've done so in many different places, and those are called just generally player civilizations. But this one that I'm in right now is called the Galactic Hub, and it's the biggest player civilization. It's got its own subreddit and wiki and stuff like that. And yeah, so what we're seeing here, all these little blips on the map here are either bases that people have built, or they're little message balls that people have left with their own little message. And a lot of times it'll say something like, hello from Rio de Janeiro, hello from Frankfurt, Germany, hello from Texas, or whatever. So yeah, and what we're seeing out this window, so this is the base that I've built. There's a portal right over there, and that is how people visit far-flung worlds. You know, normally it takes like many hours to like get a really significant distance in the galaxy, whereas these portals let you just stargate to specific locations. And so people, yeah, so like that, all those messages clustered over there, that's right over by the portal. So people come out of the portal and they just leave their little message. But some people, like me, have traveled here and they've claimed a base and they've built something, and that's what this skyline type thing that we're looking at right here is. People have built like these really tall tower things, people have built like this bridge, and then there's like, that's like a little racing jump ramp and stuff, so you can take a vehicle and like launch it and stuff. That little building over there is like this church-type building where people have built a church to the Atlas, which is like this omnipotent, mysterious entity in the No Man's Sky game world. But yeah, I just wanted to come here and see what everybody had built and maybe build something of my own, which is what I've done here. This big thing here is a naturally occurring plant. When I claimed this base, this is at the very top of a hill. You can look down through the glass here and see that this hill like slopes away in every direction. So I wanted to get something at the top of this hill so I'd have a nice view of this skyline here. But this big like globby sort of plant thing was sitting at the very top of it, and I was like, I don't want to chop that down. I would rather build a base around it, and so that's what I've done here. So yeah, let's go up to the roof. And yeah, there's little terminals where you can leave messages for people in your base. I'll explain what that thing is saying in a second. Okay, yeah, so now we're outside. This is a toxic planet, so it's full of mushrooms and stuff, and it looks like it's raining right now. This planet isn't too harsh. It's not, you know, you don't need super good survival gear to survive out in the open here. Hold on, let me check up on the chat here. Do you know if there are mods to make the landing a bit more challenging instead of just wasting fuel? The landing a little more challenging. I don't know. When I tried No Man's Sky during the Atlas update, I was kind of looking for something more like Frontier Elite. I don't know. Yeah, I get the impression that Elite and No Man's Sky have really different design focuses, because I definitely remember back in the day, like the old Elite games, like, yeah, docking with a starport actually took skill, whereas in No Man's Sky, you get up to the opening of the starport and it just, like, magnetizes you in and flies you in. So yeah, I honestly can't say like what sort of... I actually have not run any mods ever for No Man's Sky, so I don't actually know that much about them. This object right here is something that... This is one of those little trophies that that I collected off of one of the anomalous worlds earlier today that was added with this update. And yeah, I had to build a tree up, just a decorative tree type thing up here. This is another one of these like decorations of an anomaly world. These two were a little too big to fit inside, so that's why I... oh yeah, and then I built a little couch here, so that you can sit down if you want. I don't know, I think there's a sit-down animation. You can't dock with the couch. That's an acknowledged thing that people want, so I imagine Hello Games has looked into it and or are working on it. But, yeah, you kind of have to position yourself just right and then play the sit animation to be, like, sitting on the couch properly. But, you know, there's a lot of things that people do with base construction in this game that I find kind of charming, because it's sort of like... They're sort of, like, suggesting more of a reality within the simulation than is currently supported, or might ever be supported. So the idea of putting a couch here doesn't really have much meaning other than to say, this is a nice place to sit and, like, you know, watch ships go by and whatever. So, yeah, that's what's going on there. Let's see. Oh yeah, so yeah, you can leave these little messages and stuff for players in the base, and you'll notice that one of those little message nodes up there says "Found the gold Diplo yet?" So I'm a level designer professionally, and I was like, yeah, I want to like hide a little secret or something in this base. You know, the way that you hide a secret in any kind of video game level, really. So you can build these little statues. Those are some of the cosmetic rewards that these community events are about. You know, you can build statues and little decorations. Like the Undersea update added some, like, this cool aquarium that you can build. All kinds of decorations. And so there's a statue of a Diplo, which is a particular type of especially noteworthy creature in this game. And so, yeah, I hid a Diplo statue somewhere in this base. So if you do visit this base, New Arcadia, on Gaines Folly Top of the Tree 3, then, yeah, see if you can find the Diplo. I might accidentally spoil it here, but, you know, because this base is not super big. By have some glass here, I built these farm domes. You can build farms in No Man's Sky, and you can plant these crops. There's all kinds of different crops you can plant, and they each allow you to craft different kinds of things. And so what these plants allow you to do is you can use these frost crystals to construct glass. So that's what I'm saying. When I say have some glass, I'm just, you know, telling people that they are welcome to take however much of this that they need, because when I harvest a crop in a given farm in my game, it doesn't take it away from yours. So it's all just a nice big luxury space communism sort of situation. And glass is something that, you know, when you're building a base like this, as you can imagine, it takes a lot of glass and steel and stuff like that. So, yeah. Someone else asking, how did you make it to the core? I'm 600k light years away and making 2k jumps, but that is a lot of jumps. Yeah, I actually have not been anywhere near the galactic core, honestly. I'm still in the Euclid galaxy, and I just never really pursued the make it to the center of the galaxy goal super. You know, so yeah, as far as good strategies for getting to the center of the galaxy quickly, I honestly have no idea. Yeah, these are other trophies of the weird alien worlds that I've picked up. And again, the update hit this morning, so those are just things that I've collected earlier today. So yeah, where should we go next? Let's see. Yeah, let me show you a cool thing that other people built. Yeah, you can build these teleporter things that will take you to any other base or space station that you've been to before. So establishing a base in a particular part of the galaxy ends up, you know, that means that you can build a teleporter there, and then you can kind of get a foothold in a lot of different quadrants of the galaxy. So that's one reason that I've built all these bases. It's also just that, like, I kind of want to just explore building different kinds of bases and seeing what it's like to build bases on different kinds of planets, stuff like that. So you'll see. Yeah, so this is somebody else's base, and it's actually not a single building, it's several buildings. This is the one with the teleporter in it, but as you can see, well, it's nighttime, and it's a nice little, no, don't jump off the thing, whoops. Temperamental rocket boots there. Yeah, this is a nice little lakeside thing. This is like a lush planet with a lot of water. And this person has built, yeah, a number of structures. Like, that's a big farm over there with a lot of plants growing in it, like you saw earlier. That's sort of like a nice beach house, you know, that was built sort of to feel like a residence, and that's cool. There's an underwater base over there in the lake, so that's neat. And then there's just like this little, I don't know, lakeside cabin kind of thing at the far side, and it looks like it's got a little boat dock. So I really like the care that this person put into building this entire area. They approached it not just as a single base structure, but like a whole related, it feels like a little town, basically. And there would be nothing stopping, you know, another player from claiming a base somewhere around here and adding on to it. I sort of felt, you know, I didn't necessarily, because it felt a bit presumptuous. But the main reason that I made the trip out here was to show off that. So there's this thing that this is again, that's the logo of the Galactic Hub, and some people in the Galactic Hub decided to start building a fake. People decided to start building a fake fast food chain, basically, or a fake donut chain called Galaxy Donuts. And so they used the base building tools to build this little structure that looks very much like a fast food franchise location. And you go inside, and there's a counter and some little robot drones floating around with something that looks like menus and stuff. And yeah. So yeah, it's just a cute thing. There are 16 of these, I believe, in the Euclid Galaxy, and maybe a couple more elsewhere. But yeah, and this is like kind of a drive-through. So you drive up to the window, and yeah, may I take your order? And then I guess you drive around and get your donuts or something. You know, to be clear, there are not actually real donuts within this video game. It's just a cute thing that people made, and I especially like how they repurposed. This logo thing here is a stencil, basically like a decal that you can put on anything, and players just kind of decided that this decal, I guess, was the logo for Galaxy Donuts. So I really like how they kind of appropriated that that existing in-game thing to mean something else. And yeah, here's like here's an NPC or something showing up to get some donuts, presumably. Oh, hey. Hi, Peter. Yeah, I did do a WOD Wednesday yesterday. I heard one other report of people not getting the usual notification email, so I'm sorry you missed it. I'll have the video up on... I'll have the video recording of it up on YouTube soon. So yeah, sorry you missed it, though. But yeah, definitely look for the VOD, as they call it, I guess. But yeah. Oh yeah, that's right, and it did start 30 minutes late yesterday, so... Yeah, oi. Okay, so yeah, that's Galaxy Donuts, and they never close, apparently. So yeah, I guess we could go back to our ship here. Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed, like, you know, I had to navigate to this area manually. It's about, I don't know, 30k light years from the hub, but it was well worth the trip. All right, let's go inside here. Hi, Joe. How am I doing in life? I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Yeah. Let's see. What should I go to next? Let's go to a base that I built called The Cave. How are you doing, Joe? I saw you posted some cool stuff from your game recently. Combination locks. That enables the all-important 0451 reference, obviously, so it's pretty much mandatory. Cool. Okay, so yeah, this base is called The Cave, for reasons that will become obvious. Actually, yeah, let me jump out into photo mode here, just to get a nice wide view of this base. So So this base, I wanted to build a base. There are these nice caves that show up in the, planet terrain generation in No Man's Sky. And I wanted to build a base that was part in and part out of one of those caves. So that's what I did on this planet. It's like a snowy planet with some water and stuff. It has very angry sentinels that come after you, but by being down in these caves, you're a little protected from it. I also just built like a little fire lookout tower up there on the top of this mountain. It's got a nice view, but it's pretty standard otherwise. But yeah, as you can see, this is like a natural feature. It's like this fissure in the side of this mountain. And so I started building a base up and out of it. So yeah, let's hop back inside here. And yeah, I used a lot of glass just because it looks cool to see the surrounding cave terrain and stuff. And then, yeah, and the sunlight comes down nicely through through here. And yeah, so things are just kind of built into this cave. I have like some structural beams coming down. I mean, you can make just completely nonsensical floating architectural structures, but sometimes you want to throw in an architectural support to make it look semi-grounded. These are just my little storage lockers and stuff. And yeah, this is tapped into a fairly intricate, vast cave system that runs all underneath this mountain that we're on. So I put these little things up as signs to just kind of label, give players a little bit of a bearing. And then yeah, like I built these hatches at the edges of the actual base proper space. But it's pretty big, and you can definitely get lost down in those caves. Yeah. And yeah, there's nothing like super precious down in these caves or anything. There is a nice like crop every now and then of these objects called vortex cubes, which you can collect and sell for money. These are vortex cubes. They're cute little things. I have plenty of them. Mainly you just turn them into cash. I am sorry to hear that you are poor and overworked, Joe. I hope you do ship the thing, and failing that, I hope that that you are well and that you are able to have a good life as a game developer. Because yeah, you're talented and cool, and everybody deserves to not have to kill themselves to do something that they care about. That's my belief. So yeah, that's about all there is to this base, the cave. Yeah, that's my little original. That's the little machine you put down to claim the base. I've got a little teleporter here. And then there's like kind of just a little, ridiculous vertical space here that you can use to ascend to a little bit higher level. And I have a vehicle pad, so yeah, sure. Why don't I actually ride my motorcycle up to the top of the cliff here. As soon as I claimed this little tiny base space up on the very top of this mountain, I was like, oh, this kind of feels like a fire lookout tower, so maybe I should just build something that feels a lot like a fire lookout tower. So yeah, that's what I did here. Oh, I had forgotten that I had put a beacon up here. But yeah, inside the actual structure, there's not much aside from there's a little bed and a work desk and a save point. But yeah, it's mainly just about having a little glassed-in area where you can sit and admire this view without getting harassed by sentinels, and if there's like a blizzard going out or something. And yeah, I guess these little ships are all waiting to. They want to park at my landing pad there and like trade with my base or something. I don't know. Whatever, guys. I'm here right now. I'll head out soon. Let's see. Let's head back to the teleporter and go to another base. Okay, where should we go next? How about the underwater? Couldn't think of a better name for underwater base than Sea Lab. But what can you do? Yeah, at the beginning of this month, they released an update called The Abyss, which adds a whole lot of detail and interactivity and discovery and stuff to the underwater parts of the game, which up to that point had been kind of underdeveloped. You could go underwater, and there were undersea creatures, but there wasn't really a lot of cool stuff to find underwater, and it was a little tough to get around. And so the Abyss update completely improved all of that. This happened just today. I guess some of the visual improvements that the Visions update added means that there is now like a giant rock structure thing just protruding into my base here. Yeah, that's right, and I have to be outside in order to... So yeah, this is an underwater base. This is actually deep beneath the surface of an ocean on a torrid planet, like a really hot planet, but it's relatively cool down here. And yeah, you can build these nice like glass tunnels and stuff. They added a bunch of underwater base building stuff for the Abyss update as well. And then you can also build these like moon pools that let you get into the water itself really easily. So yeah, and then you can just kind of swim around. Your jetpack works underwater, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, there's a bunch of neat stuff to see. I built this. I was scouting out different locations for an undersea base, and decided on this one just because I liked these corals. They have like this kind of... Well, actually, they're not doing it right now. Yeah, okay, maybe just some of them do it. But they have like this nice little like pulsing light sort of thing on it. I don't even know what that is, but it's like a lot of stuff in No Man's Sky. It's just a random neat looking alien thing. These are like little force doors that keep the water out but allow you to go in. Super science, I don't know. These are bad things. Abyssal horrors. Yeah, they're bad. Yep, you want to keep out of the way of them. Oh dear. Yep, they'll suck you in if you don't watch out. And then you kill them, and they leave behind a weird eyeball. Yeah. Then you can collect the eyeball and I guess sell it for money. I don't think you can craft anything with it. Where'd the other eyeball go? Oh well, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like having this big weird rock thing near here, but the fact that it's just punching right through my base, I'm not super crazy about. Yeah, and then they also added an underwater vehicle, this little mini sub type thing. That thing is really cool. Yeah, so there's not actually, as you can see, there's not actually that much to this base. It's basically like 3 little capsules. I mainly just wanted to, like, you know, I can add on to this thing later. Maybe I'll build like a big farm or something under here. But yeah. And I wanted it to be a cool experience, like visiting this base. So I created a surface-based, like, point of entry with like a landing pad. So as you can see, it's just, you know, the shore is pretty far away, and this is a very, very hot planet on the surface. So you land your ship here, you come out, and you come in. It's a nice little aquarium. And then you see this thing that's pointing you downward, saying the drop is long, but it's perfectly safe. And then I have this little chute here, and you fall through it down a very long glass tube, down through the moon pool, and then you're in the water. And now you're down here at the level of the base. So, yeah, that was just something that I wanted to see if I could make it. And it took a lot of, as you can see, it took a lot of these like little glass tubing type things. but it works. It's still a little bit awkward, and I'm kind of hoping they figure out how to, like, you know, seal the water against a structure like that, but it's maybe an advanced problem, and I just like having a cool, weird way to get into this base. So yeah, that's my underwater base. Yeah, there's a little crab creeping around on the ocean floor. Let's see, what else? Yeah, let me show you this. So if you folks who want to see a lot of pictures from stuff that I've done in No Man's Sky, I've been keeping a travelogue of sorts for the past month or so on Mastodon, which is a Twitter-like alternate social network. It's sort of, you know, different in ways that, you know, that some of the things that are bad about Twitter are not bad about Mastodon. But yeah, and I've been using it to post screenshots taken with photo mode, and whoo boy, yeah. So I talk about some of this stuff that I'm showing off now. Yeah, so gosh, yeah, how to break down the Pilgrim Star. The Pilgrim Star, right when this game came out, back in, my goodness, this is what a storm looks like in this game. Yeah, it's really coming down. I'm gonna head over in this direction. So in the very early days of No Man's Sky, like the week it came out, basically, you know, there was a whole shitstorm around this game's launch and stuff. But one player decided that he would try walking all the way around a planet, landing a ship in one spot, and then walking all the way around it. And he didn't know how long it was going to take, but he did it ultimately, and it took like a few weeks of off and on playing, you know, for a couple of hours a night and stuff. And they named the place where he had done that the Pilgrim Star. The actual planet was called Dudenbomodim or something. But yeah, it's this historical specific spot that you can still visit in the world of No Man's Sky in the Euclid Galaxy. And the coordinates for the place are known, but the planet, because of the way, like when Hello Games does a major update for the game, like the Atlas Rises or Next update, they reset the procedural generation for everything, so a lot of the planets change. Back when the guy did his pilgrimage around the planet, this was actually like a snow planet, and now, as you can see, it's like a lush green world that rains all the time. And so I was curious. I hadn't heard anything about this planet where he had done this in a long time, so I decided to visit via the portal here. So I stepped out of this portal and was like, huh, yeah, there's not a whole lot of stuff here. There's some message nodes off in the distance that were actually left by a previous base that has long since vanished. So there's almost kind of an archaeological aspect to it. So what I decided I was going to do is I wanted to build a like monument, basically, to commemorate the pilgrim's journey around this planet 2 years ago. So what I built was a visitor center. That base that I came in through is the Pilgrim Star Visitor Center, and I leave a little note right outside the portal here that directs people to it, and then they can hopefully, you know, see the icon and follow it pretty easily from there. Yeah, so you go along this ridge. I'm glad it stopped raining. I mean, it's still raining, but I'm glad it stopped storming, because the visibility is just, you know, absolute garbage. And so what I built here is a little monument to the Pilgrim of Dudenbomodim. And this is like a little statue, you know, the statues that are just little cosmetic rewards you can build in your base. I turned it into a monument to the actual player who did this on this planet long ago. And I was like, oh, okay, so this is almost like a national park type attraction or something. So I'll build a little visitor center with a gift shop, and yeah, as the note that I left here says, I'm still working on it, But yeah, I built like a bunch of little, you know, I was like, hey, how about a bunch of little tchotchkes and gift shoppy type things. So yeah, I've built that there. I'll probably I'll build this out a little bit more, and this is maybe like the cash register counter or something. I don't know, just some little impulse buy kind of thing. But yeah. So I also had an idea for. My original idea for this was to build not just a base, but actually mark out a whole hiking trail on this planet. Because while the actual original route of the Pilgrim is not, you know, you can't reasonably reconstruct it now, I wanted to build a hiking trail that sort of told the story text node by text node of that, you know, that just sort of tells you what I just told you, but in kind of a story form that's recounting it like a history. Unfortunately, I can only build these little message nodes within the boundaries of the base, which is not a whole lot of space. You know, like it's generous. Like I could probably build something out there, but for a whole hiking trail that takes you all around like a particular valley or something and back, I would have to use those message balls, like the kind that I left near the portal. And unfortunately, it seems like a current limitation is that you can only leave one of those message balls you can only leave one of them per planet. I determined that the way that I could work around that is if I got a bunch of volunteers, basically a whole bunch of other players who were willing to go to this planet and use their message ball, leaving one step in the path in the total route at like a given spot. So that's something that someday I might bother to coordinate, like get a bunch of people together, pick out a bunch of spots for this hiking trail basically, and then write the little text entries for each of them, and then get each player to go down and like create that hiking trail one at a time out of their own nodes. But that would be a pretty big undertaking, and I definitely don't have the time and energy to put into something like that. But that is definitely something that I want to do someday, and I've got to start for it at least with the visitor center here. I just wanted to build that statue and just sort of mark the you know, the location the location of this historical place. So yeah. So that's the Pilgrim Star Visitor Center. And yeah, the bad weather came in with a recent update. That's something that, you know, you just never know how a planet is going to regenerate. It's unclear if they're still going to do any other major world regens, but yeah. Catching up on the chat here. No Man's Sky is rad if you're willing to engage with what it is at any given time rather than what you think it should be. This is a great example of doing No Man's Sky right. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's a weird game because the whole traditional model that we're used to of games, of like modern expensive AAA games, where like they have a bunch of authored content that a huge team sweats over, and then the act of playing it is kind of consuming that content. That whole equation is completely out the window with No Man's Sky because the size of the game world is effectively infinite. And there is authored content, obviously, in various forms, but it's completely, you know, it's distributed in a completely different way. And so I think the reason that this game, like, angered some people was partly that it sort of confused their normal notion of like determining a game's worth and like what the purpose of having content in a game is. And I think there's plenty of critiques that you could level at this game as a piece of design, and then just the way that they conducted, you know, promoting the game and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's become like probably one of my favorite games of the last like 5, maybe even 10 years. And it's partly because, you know, it focuses on the stuff that I value a lot, that I do feel like is somewhat underrepresented in games now, which is just the idea of a game world as just a place you can be in, and putting exploration first, you know, in a lot of respects. There's still always, you know, you're kind of always surrounded by resources to collect and opportunities to gain things and all that. But at the end of the day, you know, you can wander off in a random direction and see some different things, you know, and the different kinds of things are not infinite, but they're reconfigured in effectively infinite ways. And I don't know, I mean, you know, that I really like how that I've been really impressed with, and I've enjoyed a lot, you know, how they've developed this game, and I'm really glad it got, you know, a second chance, because it's become something really, really tremendous, in my opinion. So yeah, this is another base. I called this base House on the Rock. There's a real life place in Madison, Wisconsin. Sorry, not in Madison, Wisconsin. It's in Wisconsin. I lived in Madison when I visited it. It's actually out in the country over by Taliesin, the place where Frank Lloyd Wright built his house. But it has this thing called the Infinity Room, which is a glass structure that extends out over the forest, like sort of longer than you would think it was actually architecturally safe to. And it hasn't fallen down yet. House on the Rock is this big, weird museum collection hoard type place. It's basically just a weird tourist attraction-y kind of place, like the Mystery Spot, only it doesn't have, like, you know, sort of a pseudoscientific mumbo-jumbo angle. But yeah, so I wanted to pay tribute to the House on the Rock by building this big, weird, you know, glass thing extending out over this floating mesa. This planet has like these totally impossible floating mesa structures, and here I am, like, down here trying to, like, create a little elevator-y type thing up into that. Doesn't actually work, but yeah, I just wanted to build a little base on... I wanted to build a base on a desert planet. I wanted to build a base on a relatively small moon, because those are kind of easier to get around, and they have sort of a different feel exploring them. And yeah, I wanted to build, yeah, just something like this. What you're seeing right there is actually a crashed freighter. Those freighters up in space, sometimes you'll come upon one that's crashed, and you can salvage it and, like, get useful resources and stuff. Yeah, and then further along there's a trade platform. There's actually, like, one of the reasons that I selected this base site was because it has, like, a very high density of, like, pre-existing structures, so it already feels like kind of a special location. It's really, like, I've never quite seen this before in the game, so I kind of knew that I had to build something on this special site. Yeah, like, that's the trade platform, and then there's an abandoned building over here. Yeah, that you can go in and, like, get some technology out of. And then there's, like, a little holo terminus, which is how you contact some of the story characters. That's over on that side. So, yeah. Yeah, and it gets very cold at night. So yeah, that is the House on the Rock base. I only built this thing relatively recently, like in the past couple of weeks, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to just build it out into a big proper base. It's kind of mainly just this one little front area with the glassed-in thing. I wanted to give you a nice view, like when you come out of the teleporter, you're facing right down the Infinity Room. But yeah, that's the House on the Rock. Let's see what else. Has anybody else built any cool bases? New Lenin is the capital planet of the Galactic Hub. They just chose a specific star system and a specific planet in that star system as the capital world. A bunch of people have built bases there. I actually haven't claimed a base there yet, but I've visited a bunch of the bases there, so I guess they show up on my little list of teleport destinations. I have no idea why somebody named their base Chevy Chase is a monster and a treasure. We could visit that one, I guess, but yeah. These are all just space stations that I've been to. Let's see, there's not a whole lot else that's worth showing. Wild Kingdom is a base that I built on a planet where, like, basically all of the creatures are attacking you. It is a nice planet. Yeah, I guess we could go there, actually. Because honestly, what I'm doing right now is I'm just... actually, let's go to Neo Pescadero. Um, what I'm doing right now is honestly just going around to different planets and like seeing some of the new stuff that was added in the update from this morning. So just kind of going around. You know, I've already played all the way through the game's story. And I've got, you know, multiple bases and a pretty decent freighter and a nice ship and a fully upgraded suit. So, you know, I'm kind of in the end game here, where I've done, you know, I have there's very few limitations on what I can do. Which is, you know, kind of exactly what I wanted to get to, where it's just like, you know, I can just decide to visit a random planet and poke around on it. That's really like the core pleasure of this game. Yeah, so this is a planet that I built a very small base on. It's just this platform and then that tiny room over there. It has perfect weather, so there's not really much of a need for a lot of indoor space here. I actually found this planet after traveling through a black hole. Black holes, you know, there's the entire galaxy, which is just absolutely gigantic. There's like billions of star systems in it. But if you find a black hole and you travel through it, it kind of messes up your ship a little bit, but you can repair it. But then it spits you out at a completely other point in the galaxy that's a little closer to the center of the galaxy, but at a completely different orientation around the center of it. So hopping into a black hole is a good way to like end up in a really far-flung part of the galaxy where maybe nobody else has explored yet. And, you know, you never know what you're going to get. So I jumped through a black hole one time, and I took note of the stellar coordinates here, which is something you can find out if you put down a particular object. And I looked at it, and I was like, oh, actually I'm kind of near where the Pilgrim Star was. And so I claimed this base so that I could have a foothold near the Pilgrim Star. And then, like, I don't know, a week or so later, I made the trip, you know, which took about an hour of, like, hyperspace travel and stuff like that, out to the actual Pilgrim Star and claimed the base that I showed you earlier, the Pilgrim Star Visitor Center. But yeah, so this was just kind of a nice little place. Yeah, you know, I liked the weather, and it seemed like a cool planet and stuff, and it has, like, these weird floaty crab tentacle things, you know, that are peaceful. They're timid, even. Yeah, it also had a whole lot of water, which I didn't think that much of at the time, but then very shortly after the Abyss update hit, and I had a really large ocean to explore. So this is where I played through most of the Abyss updates content. That's a creature doing its best to IK along this terrain. Inverse kinematics, it's how game characters stick to things and target things properly, and it doesn't always work correctly, especially in an infinite world that's made of math. There's still a few things in this game where everything sort of does its best, you know, but it doesn't look amazing. I have the feeling that this guy's gonna come attack me, isn't he? Yep. I don't want to have to hurt you, buddy. I have a gun here, but I don't want to have to hurt you. Whatever. I feel like this game probably is still due for another big update to the creatures. There have been various improvements to them over the years, but yeah, I feel like, you know, it's probably something that you could devote resources to and have them looking that much better. I mean, there's so many things in this game that are sort of, everything's just kind of been making like, dude, what's up? Yeah, you can tell that one's a predator. He's got like sort of the canine head. He's definitely kind of attacky. Come on, dude. Be cool. All right, fine. I'm just gonna bring out my motorcycle and speed away. That'll show you. Yeah. Carefully avoided hitting the probably harmless creatures. The Sentinel's checking me out. Yeah, let's see. Let me see if there's anything cool in the scope. Also, the color scheme for this planet changed somewhat drastically with the update this morning. This used to have like kind of golden grass and blue water. Pretty much all of the water before this update was blue. So I'm definitely happy to see different colored water. It results in these much more like unearthly feeling color schemes. So we've got like a pink sky, a blue horizon, and sort of like, I don't know, orangish lake. So it's interesting, you know. Like I've been going around all these places that I already know somewhat well, and seeing how they've changed. But yeah, let's see. Looks like there's some underwater stuff going on there. Actually, this is kind of interesting. This is straight down. We're on land right now, but it said that there's a clam down there, which probably means that there's an underwater cave system that goes underneath this whole situation. That kind of stuff is extremely cool to me. Like, just, you know, having this landscape with all kinds of stuff on it. Oh yeah, these are probably my favorite creatures on this planet. They're basically like two-legged deer, but they're very skittish. They'll definitely run away from you. You have to work carefully to come up with to get a good picture of yourself with one. This is an undersea vent. You can like harvest these little gems off of it, but you got to get out of the way when it does this. Boosh. Yeah. Let's see. I am kind of curious as to where that. Yeah, like I put that clam. I put that marker down on that clam. I don't see anything that looks like a cave entrance here, but of course the cave entrance could actually be far away, and the caves just go on for miles. Yeah, I don't know. Let me bring out the mini sub here, just because it's a little faster than when I'm. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything that. I mean, I guess another way I could find this is just dig straight down. Yeah, so I'm like almost directly above this now, and just to satisfy my curiosity, I'm just going to dig down with the terrain manipulator. Dig and dig and dig, and I'm guessing... Oh, okay, so this looks like it might be something. Or is this bedrock? Oh, yep, sure enough, there's water. Alright. So the question is... Ah, there it is. Yep. I figured this would be down here. So this is a whole underwater cave section, and I have no idea where this empties out. But yeah, and that's probably the underwater clam. So you shoot it, and it pops open, and you can grab the pearl, but you got to get away in time because it's gonna like otherwise it snaps shut on you. Let's see. Ooh, it looks like this... Does this come up inside of... Okay, alright. So this is just a little air pocket, basically. Does this lead into a whole other... Yeah, it just, like, barely pokes through. Good thing I have this terrain manipulator, because... I read about real-life spelunking type adventures, and it's always just, like... It's extremely cool, you know? Like, these people are just absolute... badasses, like, you know, doing cave diving and stuff like that, but it's also just terrifying, like, you know, in real life, like, just going down into these caves and, like, you're wiggling through little gaps that are only a little wider than your shoulders and stuff. It's pretty intense. So yeah, I appreciate that this game gives me kind of a safer way to do this. Okay, yeah, this is just like a U-shaped thing. I guess like the water continues on here. And this time the water is blue. I don't know if that means that it's nighttime outside or what. Yeah, and it's not even entirely clear if this system actually empties out into the ocean. I guess I could be using my sub. This is actually a really cool little system here. Oh, yeah, that might be a way out into the surface. So yeah, I've had this base on this planet for a good while now, and I never knew that there was like this whole undersea cavern type thing. So that's pretty awesome. And let's see, where are we in relation to our base? Okay, so we're within sight of it. We're definitely not close. Oh my gosh, this creature, dude! It's that same creature, let's say, who wanted a piece of me before. Yeah, it's nighttime. Yeah, Dominic in the chat is saying that it does seem like they've been building up to bigger and better there's some sort of like story stuff that the community, that the little bit of story you get with each weekly community event. They're definitely hinting at things, that there's going to be like some other story update or something. I don't know. I mean, there's already like a big substantial adventure type thing you can do that was added with the Atlas Rises update, but who knows what else they have planned. There's a ton of little these little ancient stones that will teach you words of alien languages and stuff. Look at this weirdo. There's a whole lot of little creatures hanging out here. That thing is hilarious. It's got like cow hooves. It's essentially bipedal. But yeah, it's just got that weird, I don't even know what that is, just like sort of a bird face sort of thing. What's your deal? Elderly, it's a slow grazer, it eats algae. So yeah, there you go. Doesn't work super well within like the whole, bipedal locomotion sort of thing, but it's pretty hilarious. That's definitely a thing about this game. A lot of times it looks absolutely beautiful, and it's just like, man, this is great. And then sometimes something will be broken, but I don't know. Other people maybe don't have the sense of humor about it that I do as a game developer, but sometimes stuff just looks hilarious, and you're like, well, the permutation space of all their procedural generation stuff is unfathomably large, so you know what? If stuff looks hilarious sometimes, I'm pretty much fine with that, so long as it's not breaking my, video game progression or anything. Anyway, so yeah, that's Neo Pescadero. It's called Neo Pescadero. It's named after a little town south of San Francisco that I really like to drive to sometimes. Just go underwater here. Yeah, it's like a very small town that basically just has one main street and a few other streets. There's a little tavern there where you can get dinner, and they make their artichokes grow. Just there's a whole bunch of agriculture down near Pescadero, Santa Cruz, out by that way, so they make a really, really good artichoke soup, and they make a really, really good olalla berry pie. Olalla berries are this hybrid berry. It's like kind of like a raspberry, kind of like a blackberry. There's all these different berries that they've bred at different universities and stuff to produce just different levels of tartness and sweetness. So Duarte's Tavern in Pescadero, California, makes an olalla berry pie that I think they say they grow their own olalla berries on the premises, which is commendable. But yeah, very delicious. Good thing to check out. I forget if sweet pies are even a thing that's done outside of America. I realize that apple pie and cherry pie and berry pies and stuff like that are kind of an American thing, Twin Peaks and all. But yeah, Pescadero is a place that's dear to my heart in real life. So I wanted to name a nice little seaside spot after it in this video game. Yeah. Cool. What else? No, I've probably kind of showed off all the Yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point, I could just kind of... I could probably just head up into space, go to a new star system or something, and then just, like, look for weird planets or something. That's kind of what I was just... It's kind of all I was really planning to do this evening, now that I've showed off the bases. Alright, let's head up into space. Folks in the chat, I feel North America loves fruit and sweet pies the most. When I think of pie, I think of meat pie, so it's still odd to realize that mostly here people are talking about fruit pies. No, it's true, yeah. Yeah, I mean, meat pies, there's certainly plenty of kinds of meat pies that you'll find around here, but a lot of them are imports, you know? You'll get, like there's a place near here that sells Jamaican pasties, or patties, rather. Those are incredibly good. Empanadas, of course, you know, in the Mission, you know, yeah, so many cultures have like a delicious meat pie, stuff inside dough kind of thing, and it is wonderful. Look at this, right here in the Neo Pescadero system, there's an abandoned planet that probably has something cool on it now since the update. Yeah, this is Polo, who's checking in about the community event thing, and I'm getting some special currency to spend on cosmetic rewards. And this week, for the next 2 weeks, I guess it says 13 days, you're getting that just by scanning in different plants. So it's something you can do pretty much after you do the main community event where you go through the portal. You can pretty much do it anywhere in the game, and it's working towards that shared goal. So I don't know, yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think one thing that this update did was it made there's a lot of barren planets, you know, throughout the galaxy. There's usually like one or two in each system, and I think they were kind of looking to like just make those more interesting. Interesting. Rusted metal. I wonder what that means. People are talking about pies in the chat. Folks getting hungry. I totally understand. Yeah. And hey, it's raining outside in real life. Really happy to see that. I don't know if you've heard about it in the news, but there were some really bad fires up north of here. Very tragic. An entire town was wiped out, and you know, lots of people lost their homes and stuff. And that's the absolute worst thing about it, obviously, but certainly not great as a side effect of that was the fact that over most of the basically all of the Bay Area here, for about 10, 11, maybe 12 days, we had extremely unhealthy air quality. There was just smoke hanging over the city. So yeah, anytime I would go out for all those days, I would go out in a breathing mask. And it was still rough. Like, yeah, it was just, I hadn't, you know, experienced it for quite that long before, and that was really bad. But yeah, and then yesterday morning the rain came and just swept out all the smoke, and it's been really nice since then. And California really needs rain, so I am always happy to see rain happening. I realize that that's not other people in other parts of the world seeing rain is just like, oh gosh, another dreary day, but it's almost always a happy time in California. So this appears to be an actual like barren planet. Let me scan here. I don't actually see. I don't think there's any settlements or anything on here. It said that there was rusted metal was one of the things available, which is that sort of piqued my curiosity. So yeah, I guess this is something I was unclear on with this new update. There are still totally barren planets. You can kind of hear the ambient music track just cuts out entirely, and you really do feel like you're on, you know, the surface of just an absolutely desolate world here. These planets typically tend to be very high in resources, so you'll be able to find these big scores of natural resources. So that's kind of one of the big reasons to go here, to go to places like this. Oh, and the gravity's lower, so you can jetpack around willy-nilly. That's kind of fun. Can always use some more condensed carbon. Yeah, just real quiet. What does it say here? Let's see. Sentinels are average. No plants, no animals. Yeah, so it's just a real... I didn't know if this was going... You know, from a distance out in space, I didn't know if this was going to be one of those cool corrupted planets, but it looks like it is just a totally barren, abandoned planet. Oh, I'm out of launch fuel. And I don't have any fuel, so let me craft some real quick. Alright. Let's see, what is that planet? Oh yeah, Polo's bugging me about this stuff again. Yeah, this is by far my least favorite UI convention that's still in the game currently. When you're doing these weekly missions, you can check in with Polo and turn in some of your progress. Okay, I guess somebody's freighter fleet just warped in. Just warping in, just chilling, you know. Yeah, and so anytime you hit scan out in space, you get hailed by Polo, and it's just really... I kind of understand why they did it like that, because it basically, I think, comes down to like free buttons on a gamepad. But it's really not a good solution because, you know, you use this scan thing when you want to find out what a particular planet is. You'll hit your scanner, and then boom, the info pops up. But that, you know, the fact that also prompts, that's that little ringtone-y type sound that you're hearing. The fact that it always prompts Polo to show up, sort of annoying. All right, so is that where my base is? No, that's an acidic planet. Let's see. I guess we could go to another type of planet. Freezing planet. Have I been to that one before? It doesn't look like I've discovered a lot of like plants and animals and stuff on it. Maybe a little bit. And that's where I came from. Yeah, let's warp somewhere. Okay, so I want to warp to... I want to go to a star. There are different colors of stars, and the color partly determines how rare some of the things in that system will be. So I think I kind of want to... Oh, that's interesting. So red star systems are very frequently, they don't have any alien civilizations in them. You know, they're just like completely bereft. It's just you and nature. But that red star system does have some... It has the Vy'keen living in it, so I don't know. Figured I'd check that out. Red systems also... Red, green, and blue systems also, you know, are more likely to have different versions of their own anomalous planets, I think. I'm a little unclear on like exactly how the randomness weighting works, but yeah. So yeah, here we are in a new system. There's new planets to find out about. Doesn't look like anybody's discovered this stuff before. Planet of Light. That's interesting. All right, yeah. See, this is... You can kind of tell why I'm not a fan of that UI convention. Alright, let's go down and check out what... I'm pretty sure Planet of Light means that it's an anomaly planet. What kind it is, I'm not actually sure, but we'll see. Oh, yeah, okay, okay, cool. Alright, so it's these things. Bonk. Well, cool, yeah, this is the kind of thing that I would be... that I was looking for, so... Yeah, so this is another one of, like, when I first started streaming, I was on that, like, weird hexagonal patterned world. This is another one of those anomalous planets. These are just these big ominous things that appear on those anomalous worlds sometimes. They're definitely tied into the game's fiction and stuff, but the way that they divulge information about it is very cryptic and mystery-led, which I appreciate. It's almost always some sort of weird, unsettling thing. Oh, cool, okay, so yeah, this is the trophy for this kind of world. So now I've got one of those. I could put this in my base. Do some inventory management here. I have all these, you have like these cargo slots that you can upgrade, and I've gotten all of them. And they're basically like high-capacity slots that you can use to store your caches of resources and stuff. Cool. Well, yeah, I guess let's go check out the big, weird, creepy machine thing. Left a little save point for us. Folks in the chat talking about, I truly dislike the Sentinels as an omnipresent thing. Yeah, they can definitely be annoying. I mean, I think they're there just to kind of make the entire world have some level of conflict and danger to it, but I agree that sometimes it can, like, the way that, you know, specific things that Sentinels are doing, it can definitely get annoying sometimes. What I like is just that there are some planets that, just having some planets that aren't always, you know, where the Sentinels aren't as bad. I think that's I definitely appreciate that. So yeah, alright, let's see what this thing has to say. I doubt this will be story spoilery, but it's definitely alluding to weird stuff that is in the world. Yeah. Cryptic stuff. Yeah. Oh, I think I see an animal. Or some sort of life form. It's definitely one of those Star Trek the Original Series kind of life forms where it's like just an abstract sort of thing. Oh, what is it? It's like Bugs Bunny, basically. It's like when Bugs Bunny is like tunneling under the ground. Oh my gosh, it's weird. It's an infant. Interesting. Yeah, well, that's a weird thing. Yeah, I like these things. I like the big swirls of gas and stuff. That it's just a weird. I don't know. I like that they put weird stuff in this game. Are any of these considered plants? Sometimes they are. Yeah. See, that's considered a plant. So that's something that I can scan and turn into progress for Polo. Next time I accidentally hail them. That is also considered a plant. Age decades. Nutrient source synthesized from fire. Yeah, so... And yeah, what are these, like... What are these, like, glowing amber bits? Or are these just more of the, Is this just another one of those trophies? Yeah, it is. Okay. What about this, then? Yeah, okay, it is, too. Okay. Well... Let's go back to our ship. What is this? Oh, okay, yeah, that's cadmium. This is a metal that is only found in red star systems. And I believe you need to collect some of it before you can construct the hyperdrive upgrade that lets you travel to green star systems. And then they do the same thing to gate you from the blue star systems. Alright, cool. So aside from the weird objects and stuff, it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot going on in this planet. There's like these big, tall pillar features and stuff, but I don't know, it doesn't seem too exciting to just fly around. Definitely some caves here. Alright, let's go up into space and look for another planet. What kind of planet is this? Looks like it might be a desert planet. Planetary anomaly, okay. Yes, Polo. I have some more scans for you. I have some more snappy snaps. Sure, yeah, let's go visit the planetary. It has salvageable scrap in it, which is something that was added for this update. I like being able to go third person in ships. Definitely gives you a different... When you're flying around on a planet's surface, it definitely gives you a very different feeling to the navigation. I still tend to play in first person mode just because... I guess I'm just a first person kind of guy, but I do like all the work that they did to make stuff work in third person as well. Okay, so this planet looks like it has a mix of water and land. So let's see what kind of stuff is on that land. Okay. Very muted colors. I've run into planets like that before where it's like a very particular kind of camera filter is in effect at all times, you know, so it's like the atmosphere is filtering out certain kinds of light or something, maybe? I don't know. See, it's got some water. It's got these, like, kind of smokestack type formations. These are always weird, like, they're just big bowl-shaped things. Yeah, alright, so does this have any... Does this have any NPC civilization on it, or is it just a totally abandoned... Have the Vy'keen not built here out of fear of the anomaly weirdness? Alright, there's a structure of some sort. Looks like it's just a little depot, but... Let me park up on this thing just to get a cool view. It might be annoying to get back up to this if I jump off, but Weather Burning Crimson. Interesting. Sometimes I like to zoom out in photo mode here and just sort of take stock of the surroundings. So yeah, we're up on this big tall plateau thingy, and yeah. Let's see what we can find here. The usual assortment of plants that offer different minerals and stuff. How about buried technology module? I've found plenty of those. Mineral deposits. Okay, yeah, there's some ships flying around here. I may be able to follow one of those ships to a trade depot. Also, I could just scan for a trade depot. Oh yeah, let's go check this thing out. I'm in free fall, but I have a jetpack. Yeah, I like the muted colors here, you know, because this game is so frequently very colorful that when it becomes less colorful, it's actually pretty cool, usually. Alright, there are different kinds of hazardous flora in the update, but this is the one that's been in the game for forever. It's just like a plant tentacle thingy, and when you get close, it lashes out at you. It's a jerk. And you can destroy it for some oxygen. Creatures. These cute little dino thingies. They're pretty cute, honestly. Oh, what about this big guy? Is he a bully? Nah. He's fine. Oh, geez, there's a bunch of animals milling around here. Looks like some big quadrupeds over here. Highly intelligent. Eats rotting fruit. Okay. Oh yeah, so this is a resource depot. I could attack these things and get the resources in them, but these sentinels are standing guard over it, obviously, and they would attack me. So I am not going to do that right now, because I don't necessarily fancy fighting sentinels right now. Oh no, my stream is lagging. Let me know if it continues. The weather usually doesn't affect my internet, but... Okay, well, that sounds like a pretty basic Vy'keen word, so I'm glad I learned that. That's almost something interesting happening there. Very tall. So this is not that exotic as far as planetary anomalies go. You know, I'm used to them having... I mean, these trees are pretty unnaturally big, but... you know... Some of the anomaly worlds get a lot stranger. Let's see. Yeah, and there's like a little resource drop here. Some birds. Or butterfly type thing. I don't know. So yeah, I showed y'all all my bases, and I've talked kind of about like all the major stuff that I've been up to in this game, but now I'm really just kind of wandering around, you know? Like this is just sort of... This is the kind of thing that you do in this game, you know? When you're not grinding for anything specific, you know? Just looking around. I'm kind of looking for like... kind of like to find a little outpost or something where I could park and trade a bit. I don't care about that resource depot. Oh, okay, this is a different... Let's go see what that is. So what is this? Oh, this is a little, well, this thing that I'm scanning right here is a plant that, I'll scan it first, but when you collect it, it actually supercharges your jetpack, and you can use it without restrictions for a little bit. That's always pretty cool to run across one of those. There's a little cave with some vortex cubes at the entrance. Oof. Yeah, you also got to watch out for those little poisonous spore plants. Yeah, sometimes you will just find a trade terminal just floating out in the wilderness here, and yeah, we can like buy and sell stuff, I guess. Is there anything that I want to sell? I have a lot of stuff. Yeah, I guess I could get rid of that. Yeah, and then, I don't know, does this have anything especially cool to buy? Probably actually a little low on chromatic metal, so sure. Might as well claim this save point. You can turn in your discoveries here. You can choose to name these creatures. You know, I do it for the planets that I like really care about and I'm spending time with, but otherwise I just use the default generated names. Yeah, you get a little reward out of that. Yeah, that's right up in there. Oh, cool. That was the only creature on that planet, so I can turn it in and get a little bonus reward. Cool. Yeah, well, are there any other points of... Yeah, there's the resource depot back there. Trade terminal. What's this? Yeah, the distribution of these, of all the little random points of interest here is very clearly sort of, you know, after you spend enough time on a given planet, you'll realize that it is, you know, things aren't concentrated into cities or even just more settled parts of the planet necessarily. Like, everything does feel, as far as just settlements and stuff, yeah, okay, so that's a bigger building. It does feel like pretty evenly distributed. Which, you know, like, I think there's pros and cons to that choice as a game design choice. I think it makes, if Civilization, you know, like NPC buildings and stuff like that were more concentrated, and that would mean that there were bigger blank spots in the planet where it's just wilderness. It would make those structures and stuff feel more significant. But if you didn't necessarily have the means to cross large distances, i.e. your ship was crashed or something, then, you know, you could be stuck with like a really bad, boring situation. So I think it's a decision that they made of necessity. So everything feels very evenly spread out, and you kind of know that you'll run into at least some kind of building like this. This is an abandoned building that I'm about to enter. So yeah, I mean, it's probably the right call. Like, they would have had to like push on some other major design choices of the game in order for that to not be the case. So I think they made out pretty well. So you see a lot of structures like this, you know, that are just like these modular structures on a planet's surface, but sometimes they are broken. The door is forced open and you go in and you're seeing like corrupted, goopy type stuff, and you're like, oh man, seems like something not good happened here. You find some technology and just other little things that'll help you. And then, yeah, sometimes there's like multiple rooms to it, so you go in and you check it out. There's never much in the way of a threat in these places, but, you know, it's something to explore. I feel like the abandoned buildings are probably one of the longest unchanged things. Like, these work more or less exactly how they worked when the game launched over 2 years ago. But yeah, you can use a terminal and get like a weird little cryptic bit of story text here, so that's what I'm going to get here. And you get a little reward. Yeah. You know, this story bit here, this is not like... This won't necessarily be familiar to people who have played through the story. Like, the best written ones of these feel disconnected enough that you're just, like, catching some little scrap of a story. It's very much more about, like... They're not lore building here in the slightest. They're more just, you know, creating a tone of mystery throughout. Okay, yeah, something about a wormhole. And you get a little reward. Yeah, so... And yeah, it got dark while I was outside, while I was in there. So these abandoned buildings, in addition to being like creepy and corrupted and goopy on the inside, they also have, since the next update, they have these things. No. Pick it up, grab it. Okay. So yeah, these things are... They're called monstrosities, I believe. They're bad. They will chase after you. They don't look like the other aliens in the game. Oh, jeez. Sentinels are attacking me now. I need to run. This is bad. I am in danger of dying. Have I lost him? Alright, I think I've given those things the slip. Yeesh. Alright, had a little excitement there. Aw, man. Where'd those sentinels come from? I guess those sentinels got pissed at me for just attacking the monstrosities, but... Alright, they're searching for me. Just need to affect my getaway. Jeez, I'm already like 5 minutes away from my ship. Alright, I've just about evaded them. Yay! Alright. Nothing is trying to kill me anymore. Someone in the chat asks, who's the monster here? I don't know if you're asking just factually, as in, like, what are those monsters? The answer to that is I have no idea. They're just, like, some agent of the corrupted force that took over that base building there. If you're asking, like, the sort of rhetorical, who's the monster here, it's me, because I shot that egg that was just sitting there so that I could, like, scavenge this little weird resource out of it. Yeah. Yeah, a larval core. That has a nice description that makes it very clear that, you know, you don't want to mess with it. So yes, I am the monster here. Should I just summon in my ship? I feel like we've kind of tapped out this world as far as just stuff to do. Yeah, there's that resource depot. Oh, that's right, and it's up on a big tall cliff, so yeah, I'm just going to summon it. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm guessing this planet has a lot of ocean stuff going on, but yeah. Okay, so I've been there, I've been to that planet that I was just on. What is this? Hot planet. And another hot planet. 2 hot planets. And what about this one? I like the colors on that one. Tropical planet. I didn't see any salvageable scrap, did I? Alright. Let's talk to Polo and turn in our stuff. Cool. Yeah, let's go over here. Let's go to this, weird tropical planet, even though it's hella far away. Hello, Tin Kelp. Yes, I hope folks had a relatively conflict-free and empathetic Thanksgiving. I realize it can be a, you know, the holiday itself has some baggage, and then people, you know, very understandably have some baggage surrounding just the sort of social situations that it puts you in, so anybody who's doing Thanksgiving stuff today, my heart goes out to you. Hope you got to eat some good food or something. Yeah. Residual goop. Just doing some inventory management while my ship makes its way over to the thing. And it's showing in the bottom right the total progress towards the different tiers of rewards and stuff for the community thing. That's actually new with this update. They used to not, and I think that's across all platforms, PC, PS4, and Xbone, so. This is interesting. Is this like, okay, yeah, this is like a bunch of islands. Sort of foresty islands, I guess. Well, there's certainly trees here. This kind of feels like the, what's it called, the Puget Sound area around Seattle, Pacific Northwest. What's this over here? It's just a tiny little save point on its own little island out in the middle of the lake, or the ocean. Yeah, this water definitely does look like Sunny Delight. We are not on a purple stuff world. I'm just kind of looking for a point of interest to land at. Definitely some significant underwater space here. But you can't land underwater. Oh, interesting. There's some cave geo that we saw. Oh, here we go. Here's a... What kind of structure is this? It might be another abandoned building, actually. Yep, it is. You can tell from the audio ambience. Yeah, let's check out that water. That really is just like golden. Yeah, it's definitely a Sunny Delight world. Huh. Oh, look, that animal just killed that other animal and it's feeding on it. Probably also means it'll attack me. Can I scan the dead creature? Yes, I can. Poor thing. Constantly moving, except when it's dead. Ooh, I like the purple and yellow sort of thing here. Yeah, these weirder color schemes are part of the new update. I'm definitely liking it. Alright, so I'm not going to mess with those eggs now because I just don't care about larval cores. This has an identical layout to the one before. Yep, pretty much the exact same building. Oh boy, more goop. So I only learned recently that the goop actually does... You can turn it into something useful, but it takes a lot of time. I like these little lamps. I would totally own one of those lanterns in real life. Alright, yeah, so what's this planet all about? I guess I could scan some stuff for Polo. Help out with the community mission. It's also, you can see I'm making, you know, like 5-digit amounts of space bucks with each scan that I do. That's because I have, I'll show you my multi-tool here. I have a bunch of scanner upgrades installed here. So, yeah, these. So yeah, these are all, yeah, flora and fauna analysis rewards, just jacking up the normally you only get like, I don't know, 500 or something for a plant and like 800 for an animal, and then it just puts ridiculous multipliers on that. So once you have a fully upgraded scanner, you can make some pretty good money. Is there anything scannable? You mean to tell me this isn't scannable? That's weird. Oh, I see. Weird. It's the thing back there. Okay. I definitely appreciate that this thing has... Oh my gosh, yeah, this thing is just killing animals left and right. Buried technology... Underwater clams. I would love to find some of that salvage stuff that I was hearing about before. Some undersea creatures. Let's see what kind of organism lives in the Tang. These nice plants. Weird little mineral type thing. And look at this. Some creatures that are clearly just in the very beginning stages of adapting to life underwater. That is weird. They're just like land creatures, but they're swimming. I guess, yeah. It's so weird. They just don't... I don't know if I buy necessarily that a creature that looks like that would be able to function like that in water, but who knows, you know? Evolution has infinite time to do weird things on these planets. Yeah. Those little kelp sac plants there, you can, if you get close to them and collect them, it'll actually replenish your oxygen. Instead of that, though, how about I do this? I put down my little portable shelter, and then I have a little air bubble that I can use to recharge my... Even though I'm not that far from the surface. I could have just swam up to the surface, but it's also cool to, like, you know, be down here. Watch these cool jellies going by. Watch these weird cow things just swimming around in this sunny delight ocean. And yeah, it's becoming a nice reddish-orange color as the sun goes down, I guess. So that's cool. Collect my shelter. Alright, I just want to get like a scan of this thing here. Is that a scannable plant? Maybe not. Whatever. Let's see, is there anything that I haven't scanned here? I feel like I've scanned all these little trees. Yeah. Yeah, that ocean really becomes a... The richness of these colors really come out at a different time of day. Definitely enjoy that. Underwater cave system kind of thing. Oh, that's a new type of tree. There's a really exceptional number of like those language stones all around here. It's kind of interesting. Crystal sulfide. Damn, yeah, I was just really hoping to Oh, what's that? Buried technology module. I mean, I don't necessarily need that unless it's a different thing from what I'm thinking it is. It's in sort of a different container. No, okay, it's just salvage technology. Whatever. I already have plenty of that. I have plenty of technology, thank you. Rather too much. I like someone, Tin Kelp in the chats. I says, I like how there's much clearer goals to accomplish compared to something like Minecraft or Don't Starve. Yeah, I do feel like it. You can play this game in a very goal-oriented way, for sure. Yeah. Damn, I was hoping to find some of that salvage stuff, but oh well. Some other planet. You know what? I used up the last of my launch thruster fuel, so I am going to craft more. Oh, okay, yeah, Tin Kelp was talking about Subnautica, not this game. Cool, yeah, I too have heard, I've heard good things about Subnautica. It sounds really cool. When the Abyss update came out for this, people were talking about Subnautica as like the game that does the underwater adventure thing really, really fully, and that does sound really cool. I remember reading some of Robert Yang's thoughts on it, maybe? I think it was him. And yeah, it sounds cool. Yeah, so that's 2 planets now where, like, from space they say they have salvageable scrap. Maybe I just need to, like, target the center of a big landmass or something. I don't know. I think I would rather just find a new planet and keep poking around that. I guess I could go to one of these hot planets. Which one is closer? 7 hours. Alright, that one's slightly closer. Yeah, we're going to pass right by a ring there. Passing through the planet rings, it's not like they're comprised of tiny little asteroids or anything. It is just sort of like a hazy band that you pass through. It's fine, you know. When the trailer for Next came out, people were wondering, like, what's it like when you fly through a ring or something? Or at least I was. And the answer is, you know, a serviceable answer. Like, I guess, like, in real life, like, the rings of Saturn, they're just, like, it's actually just, like, a little mini asteroid belt. It's, like, a disk of, like, lots and lots of, not, like, fine, like, sand particles, but, like, chunks of rock and stuff. They just, you know, they're so dense that you don't see them, you know, until you get really close. Yeah, I think it's, that kind of stuff is called an accretion disk. I think there's a couple of different ways that a planet can end up with a ring like that. Sometimes it's actually a moon that broke apart or never quite formed, and then other times stuff just kind of settled into that, you know? It's all like this stellar mechanics type stuff that causes planets to form rings specifically. It's pretty interesting. No Man's Sky, of course, plays very fast and loose with, you know, pretty much anything relating to stellar mechanics. No Man's Sky just doesn't even try, really. Like, the sun moves around a planet, essentially, while you're on it, and, like, the planets themselves don't rotate, per se. There's all kinds of, like, trickery that you only notice if you, like, really dig, you know? Like, you kind of have to, like, stop and notice and, like, conduct a little, you know, ad hoc study to determine that it is faking what it looks like it's faking. But it is definitely doing that, and I can, you know, some people, that's sort of a deal breaker for them. They're like, oh, I really want these planets to be rotating around the star and rotating along their own axis and all that kind of stuff. And, like, I can just, like, from a programming standpoint, what they've already managed to do is so impressive that just, like, adding that whole additional difficulty layer of stellar mechanics, it just seems ridiculous. Like, I don't know. I'm fine with it, even if Neil deGrasse Tyson, you know, looks at it and, you know, spits upon it from a very great height or something. Who knows? But yeah, this planet is okay. So this is a hot planet. It's gonna have a very high temperature, and it's got like these big, like, I guess they're craters. They don't look like impact craters or anything. Just big bowl-shaped depressions in the terrain, and then it's got these plateaus. Not a whole lot that looks interesting going on here. What's this over here? Whoa! Okay, there's really large animals on this planet. That's pretty cool. Hello, welcome. Let's see if we can find another little structure. There's two of them. Alright, that's just like a tiny little settlement with two trailers. Let's see what's over here. Ooh, look at that. I like how it's like this little wiggly path up the side of this big weird plateau that then has like shapes cut out of it. That's an interesting wrinkle in the terrain. Okay, I'm pretty sure that that icon for buried technology module is actually a glitch. Like, yeah, and see, it just disappeared. Something weird is going on there that they haven't fixed yet. Okay, that's a drop pod, but I've already fully upgraded my exosuit, so actually that doesn't have anything that I can use. Yeah, and see, now that silly thing is up in space. It's just, yeah, it's glitching. I hope they fix that. Stop lying to me, buried technology module. Is that the drop pod that I already... Okay, that's an alien artifact, sure. I can see that. Okay, that has a landing spot, so might as well check that out. Haven't actually touched down on this planet yet. Mr. Petavan in the channel, in the chat, is asking, how do you evaluate the scale of things? Like in this game, it's... Yeah, you kind of just develop a feel for how big everything is. Those things are very large. Those Strider creatures, that is definitely one of the wilder creatures I've seen. Let me see if I can get up here for a good view of it. Where'd you go, buddy? Whoa, 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 that thing is hauling. Wow, these things can move very quickly for how big they are. Yeah, so that thing is 8.2 meters tall. And then is this the same species? Yeah, it is. Okay. So maybe this is like a, you know, some sort of sex dimorphism thing going on where, like, one of them has, like, the big, I don't know, shell type thing. That must be a young one. Yeah, so, yep, sometimes you'll just find really big planets, really big creatures on planets. I've never, like, creatures this big are, yeah, see, they're peaceful. They are peaceful. So they're kind of intimidating, but they won't attack you. Looks like there's also, like, dragons, basically, on this, this frickin' planet. I'm trying to get a good scan of one. There we go. V. Crozanium. Oh man, that one flew out of scanner range before I could do anything with it. Yeah, well, it's 160 degrees Fahrenheit out here, so let's save and go inside. Yeah, okay, this is just active with wildlife. Okay, and there's some kind of deer-like thing. That thing also seems kind of tall. Yeah, that thing's 3 meters tall. Notes, extremely homozygous. I forget what that means. Cool. Well, I'm glad these creatures don't want to kill me. Okay, this is just a little outpost kind of thing. Doesn't look like anyone is home. But this little terminal here probably has something I can... Yeah, that's right. This is like a number puzzle, where you just got to input the next result. Transmission tower worker went to investigate long ago. Tin Kelp says, homozygous refers to having identical alleles for a single trait. An allele represents one particular form of a gene. Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, let's see here. 59... 56, 59, 60. Okay, so that's plus 3 is that, plus 4 is that, plus 5 is that, plus 6 is that, plus 7. So that would be 81, I guess? Yes. These math puzzles are never too difficult, you know, once you have sort of the idea of what they're about. And yeah, this will give us a distress signal, I guess. Little unclear where that thing was supposed to be. Distress beacon. So that is probably a crashed ship. Yeah. That is generally telling you where there is a crashed ship but no surviving crew. So yeah, I don't necessarily feel like I need to rush over there. Those don't tend to be rescue missions. Just poke into this little trailer. Some money. Some research. Well, I guess I might as well scan some plants. Oh, these plants are cool. I'm flying with the birds. Whee! It's kind of tough to get a close-up look at birds sometimes. But what you can do is... So first of all, we've got a cool action pose going on there. But yeah, you can go into photo mode, which freezes time. Get up close on these. I guess this is one of those little dragon type things. Alright, so that's got like a little, it's like little bat ears. That's just a straight up bat. That's a bat dragon right there. That's what that is. And then what about those crow type things? That's kind of what I wanted a closer look at, because it seemed like, I liked the color, it seemed like they actually had crow-like coloration. I hadn't really seen that before. Yeah, okay, so those are the bats. Might as well scan one. How far away is that distress signal anyway? Okay, it's... Oh my goodness! Okay. Is this a different... Yeah, this is a different bat, isn't it? It's just a cute little flying, you know, mongoose type thing. Bird claws. Alright, a lot of flyers on this planet. Okay. Well, we've had a look around here. Once again, I've run out of launch thruster stuff, so... Oh, no, I haven't. Cool. Well, now I've got some spare. And it is now nighttime. Alright, let's bid this planet farewell. Is there anything else in this system that's worth checking out? I was expecting to find a lot more, like, mysterious, cool stuff, but it was really just that one planet. I'm not complaining. Don't necessarily need to check out that other hot planet. Turn in some discoveries here. Cool. Yeah, let's go to another system. Actually, do I have... Okay, yeah, my hyperdrive has plenty of fuel. Yeah, where else? Let's go to a blue system, I guess. This is an uncharted system, which you can tell because in the bottom left it doesn't say, it says no dominant life form. That could be cool. It has two moons. So I guess that's like 5 planets total. Yeah, sure, what the heck. That does mean that there is no teleporter in that system, so I would need to warp back out to go somewhere else. Unless I find a portal, I guess. But yeah, these Uncharted systems have a really different feel to them. Because, yeah, like, as you'll notice, there's no space station, and there's no other ships flying around. And there's no freighter fleets that warp in or anything. So, Frozen Anomaly. Okay, that sounds like something cool. No, a majority of the ships. Yeah, 2 questions from Mr. Petavan. Petavan, I don't know how to pronounce your name in the chat. How long have I been playing No Man's Sky? I've been playing it since it came out. Honestly, yeah. Like I actually got it to talk about it on the Video Games Hot Dog podcast. It was just the game of the week that week, and I was like, oh yeah, I've been interested in that game. I'll play that, and so I did, and then, you know, put it down after a few weeks of playing it, and then they started doing those updates for it, and I got a lot more interested in it, and yeah. The second question was, are all ships flying around human players? No, very much not. It's almost always an NPC, except if you're in a populated system where other players are exploring and have built bases, you'll see markers for them at the least. And if they're actually in your multiplayer session, you will see their actual ship flying around, and you can get out and see their body and stuff, and trade resources with them, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, the multiplayer is like very opt-in, you know, but you do see like little blips and stuff that explain, you know, that show you where another player is, just so that you'll know, because, you know, even if you're not looking to play multiplayer, it's kind of cool to know where someone else is. Okay, so this is a Frozen Anomaly world, and it looks like it is comprised of giant mushrooms, and it has like this sort of golden sepia sort of feel to it. So that's pretty wild. I've definitely run into planets like this before. Not exactly with the mushrooms or anything, but, you know, with like the very muted color palette and stuff. Oh, the Video Games Hot Dog podcast is by the it's a podcast with the Kingdom of Loathing / West of Loathing folks, and also sometimes Jim Crawford, or maybe all the time Jim Crawford, I forget. And I don't know if they're still I haven't kept up with it, so I don't know if they're still doing episodes regularly or they stopped or something, but they might have stopped to ship West of Loathing. But yeah, like last August of 2016, I guess, they had me as a guest on, and I think I've been on one other time. And yeah, it's cool. It's, yeah, it's good talking with those guys. And, yeah. Okay, so yeah, this is, like, we're seeing, yeah, I guess this orange water is like something I've seen a fair amount of, since the update. Might as well scan some plants. It's just what the community mission wants me to do, so sure. Ow. What's your deal, buddy? It's this tiny little goat dog. What is your deal? You're tiny. What are you hoping to accomplish? You gonna attack me? I'm not gonna fight you. There's a sentinel right there. That sentinel will totally start shooting at me if I attack you. Also, you're tiny. It just feels wrong. Is this a... Okay, this is considered a mineral. Interesting. And then what about these giant things? I mean, it's on the hot side here, but it's actually not draining my life support any faster than normal, so... Let's see, okay, that's a clam. Jerk plant. Activated indium deposit, that's relatively valuable material. Ooh, wow, yeah, and this is normally like bright blue, but it's getting muted down into like this golden color. Oh my gosh, you too? Buddy, I don't want to fight you. I don't. Yeah. Oh, okay, I guess those little bits don't have collision on them. Wow, look at these tiny Diplos. So Diplos are... Oh, yeah, okay, it's just Diplo hummus. It's my favorite flavor of hummus. Oh, geez, it's about to get real crummy here. You can always escape a storm by diving underwater. Even though that might be a bad idea. What would a humming egg be doing all the way down there? Alright, there's some weird fish. Yeah, it's storming out there for sure. Sheesh. Yeah, the Diplo is that, like, general type of Diplodocus-shaped dino neck, long neck dino creature. It was seen in the original E3 trailer for No Man's Sky way back in the day. And that type of creature pattern, like that body shape, is relatively rare. And they're typically very large. Like the capital... New Lenin, the Galactic Hub capital world, has like 6 or 7 meter tall Diplos, and that's considered like a cool, rare thing. It's one of the reasons that planet was selected as the hub capital. All right, I'm running out of air here. These jellies never seem to attack, for which I'm thankful. Whole lot of clams over there. You can tell by the purple, which I don't especially care about. I've got all the pearls I need. See, I'm going to grab one of these plants and replenish my oxygen. That's cool to do. Jellies. Wow, yeah, I've made a lot of money just scanning plants and animals today. Kind of got all the ships that I really need, but alright, that's just an ocean vent. Oh, hey, look at this. Ooh, a storm crystal, yes. Let's go check that out. Let me see if I can get over to it in time. Yeah, so storm crystals were something that was added with the update today. And they are crystals that activate and glow brightly when there's a really bad storm out. They tend to show up on extreme planets, and you can grab them. You have to resist going into that cave there. No, storm clearing! I'm going to miss my chance. But also I have to be out in this terrible storm, so, you know. Where is it? Oh yeah, see? Okay, yeah. See, it became a regular rock. So yeah, the storm ended, but if I had made it over here in time, then it would have been like growing really brightly, and I could harvest it and have like a really valuable item. So that's a cool thing that they added. That's just nice little bit of low-level self-contained gameplay, and it ties into the weather system, which, you know, not a whole lot of gameplay had other than just the stuff that directly affects the player, i.e. wearing down your life support faster and changing visibility and whatever. So any emergent behavior between animals, plants, or is it only meant to interact with the player? Yeah, this isn't like a super emergence-rich game. Yeah, so things are mainly just kind of yeah, there's not, aside from like that predator-prey interaction that we saw, there's not a whole lot of, are you coming up to attack me? Buddy? Why? Can you get me from up there? Okay, I don't know how you're doing that, but you're a jerk. Oh my gosh. Please don't. One thing I discovered is that there are different photo filters, and you can, if you turn, yeah, you can actually kind of see, well, it's nighttime right now, but yeah, okay, so yeah, you can also move the sun in photo mode, which is kind of amazing. It's like sun here, and then the sun reels in the sky. So yeah, but I have this this camera filter. Like, this is what it looks like in normal vision, but if you turn on a particular camera filter, it actually reverts to whoops. Yeah, it actually like shows you kind of what the world would be colored like if the planetary atmospheric tone mapping weren't in effect. So yeah, that's an interesting little weird discovery I made. Let's turn it back to regular. Yep, sure is a desaturated orange juice world. Let's see. Is there anything cool I could dig up? Yeah, another thing the update added was more things to dig for in the ground. So there's like skeletons, like fossils in the ground that you can dig up and get some money for. Dig up like different fossils that are different levels of quality, you know? Oh, cool. Well, maybe I'll see some storm crystals. This water is at a frustrating level where I can't quite run in it. Okay, now I can. Oh, okay, and I'm right here. Is that storm about to pop up? Yes. Is there a storm crystal nearby? Doesn't look like it. Oh, yeah, maybe there's... Okay, that's pretty close by. I can get there. Visibility sure is bad, though. Yeah, man, that's draining my life support. So yeah, that is what a storm crystal looks like when it's activated. Pretty cool. Okay, I got it. Now I want to hightail it back to my ship here, because it is brutal out there. Ah, yeah, and you can see my life support going back up to a comfortable room temperature. Ah, yeah. So yeah. Yeah, you know, like not quite half a mil for 3 storm crystals that I got, so that's pretty good money. It's hazard pay for sure. Yes, this ship is called Odo's Bucket, yes. Yep. It used to make a little bit more sense. The next update, like, actually changed the appearances of a lot of the ships. This thing used to be sort of more bulbous and bulky looking. And yeah, I was watching some Star Trek Deep Space Nine at the time and was just like, Odo's Bucket, sure. I tend to name these things on the spur of the moment. But, yep, Odo's Bucket. It's my main... It's the ship that I use for the widest range of things. It's like, you know, it's a 44-slot hauler. You know, it's C-class, so it actually doesn't have, like, you know, it's not like... It doesn't have, like, great base stats, but, you know, it's got a lot of what I, of the qualities that I'm after, so. Alright, that's another lush planet, it looks like. Moon of Pluton, windswept moon. Okay, yeah, so that sounds like a desert planet. Frozen anomaly. Looks like there's a... Is there another moon here? No, okay, that's the one I was looking at. What about this? Okay, looked at that one. How about you? You might be something interesting. Dead planet. Indium rusted metal. So this might just be another barren world. I'm actually going to guess that that's what that is. And one more moon to scan. Bountiful moon, star bulb. So yeah, this was the only anomaly planet. I don't know, sure, let's check out another bountiful moon. Those tend to always... or another lush planet, rather. Let's go around to the sunny side of this planet. Looks like this one does not have any water on it. And yeah, moons are very small. I mean, all the planets are big, but their size can vary pretty wildly, and the moon is by far smaller than any of the planets you'll find. I think moons might come in 2 different sizes. There might be like a slightly smaller and slightly larger one, but it looks like we're here in the middle of a rainstorm, so my visibility for flying is pretty crummy. The first time I went to the Pilgrim Star planet, it was like this. It was just the visibility was actually way worse, and so I was just flying around in the middle of a rainstorm. It was just really, it was not good flying conditions. I couldn't actually see that much about the actual planet I was on. Yeah. Yeah, this doesn't look that bad. Okay, yeah, so scalding rainstorms. It's not great out, but I feel like I feel like my suit can probably hang out in this for a while. Oh gosh, I'm out of batteries. That's kind of a bummer. Oh, it's only like 85 degrees right now. Who cares then? That probably means that when a storm kicks up, it'll get really hot and bad. So, I don't know, I'll figure out what to do when that happens. Probably jump into a cave or run for my ship. I just figured before I left this system I should look at least one more planet. And I like these things, sort of weird top-heavy baobab type things. I think that's sort of a crowbill. Let's see. I'm honestly surprised that we haven't found any fossils yet, because I was finding them on a fair number of worlds. Paraffinium, sodium, don't care. That's a sodium deposit. Just a big old salt lick, just sitting out. I don't really have much need of sodium right now. Okay, that's something I haven't scanned yet. Okay, this is one of those storms that they're talking about. Hoo-wee! That is bad. This is a bad temperature for things to be. Is there like a cave or something nearby? How far am I from my ship? Not that far, really. Yep. Almost there. Yep. Alright. Sheesh. Alright, well, I'm going to say screw this planet. Yeah. I haven't spent a whole lot of time in Uncharted systems just because, you know, when there's no aliens around and no trading posts or anything like that, it does kind of... Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Never get out of the car. Oops, my, What happens if you die? What do you lose? You lose the current contents of your inventory, and it creates a grave object, and then you're restored from the last checkpoint. So if I had died like out in the wilderness there, I would have respawned back at my ship with an empty inventory, and then I have like a little icon where I could have easily gotten back to where I had died, and then I interact with that object and get all my stuff back. So it's kind of like Diablo 2's like corpse retrieval, you know, just like a lot of RPGs like corpse retrieval system. It's not a very major penalty at all, but it's definitely enough of a pain that you don't just let yourself die for no reason. But yeah, I would have to have been stranded for significantly longer without, because it goes through your, like, you know, heat or cold or whatever shielding, and then it goes through your life support, and then it goes through your suit's like shielding and health system, and only when you lose your last little health dot do you actually die. So I'm relatively safe, you know, but I also have a lot of upgrades, so, you know, I'm probably a lot more survivable than most. You know, I'm definitely way more survivable than a starting player. Okay, well, you know, I kind of feel like there wasn't as much cool stuff in this Oh wait, no, I need to go back to the community research mission. Okay. There we go. I actually wanted to turn in my data with Polo this time. Okay, wow, am I just going to keep getting the Quicksilver reward for... I guess so. Cool. Alright, let's go to one more system. I'm thinking about taking a break in a bit, but... Alright, that's a green uncharted system with 4 planets. Kind of want to get back to a charted system. Okay, so this is probably an abandoned system, which means that it has abandoned buildings and abandoned trading posts, actually, and well, I'll show you. Let's go there. I will show you. Yeah, this game also, I'm playing in normal mode right now. It also has a creative mode where you don't have to worry about dying or, in fact, any kind of resource limits. That's if you just want to, like, explore and build bases. So that's cool. It also has a survival mode where the total amounts of resources that you need to replenish yourself and just the overall rate of attrition for your resources and life support systems is jacked way up. So survival mode, I haven't played it in a while, but that survival mode is quite a challenge. Hey, there we go. Oh wait, right, I just did this. I was just trying to find out what that planet was. Flourishing planet. Frostbound planet. That's the anomaly where Nada and Polo live. And the little hail thing is blocking my radar, so I can't actually find these planets that I want to find. See, this is why I don't like this, their UI solution for this. Okay, these are 2 new planets. Scan this one in. Okay, that's a desert world. These all seem pretty standard. They're just the standard biomes. I'm looking for anomalous weird stuff. Desolate planet. But that probably... I don't know. Let's go to another desolate planet here. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that this is not a cool anomaly world. I'm gonna guess that it's just a stony, quiet world. Yep. Does indeed appear to be. And that's fine. Let's see, where was that? Is there a moon or something around here? Bleh, bleh. All right, you know what? You know what, Polo? I'm just gonna go to you. Okay, so there's another, kind of looks like there's another planet hiding behind that one. That's interesting. And what about you? Doomed Jade Planet. That sounds cool. Let's go there. Doomed Jade Planet. That's interesting. A lot of the descriptions, the like from space descriptions of anomalous worlds have an adjective that refers to the color of the star that they're in. I don't know how that influences the actual appearance and the planet itself, but I don't know. Let's shoot for the sunny side of this. Or it might be sunset. Oh my gosh, is this like a wild pink planet? Okay, so it's more mushroomy kind of planet stuff. Interesting. What are these? Okay, that's just a little... It's just little checkpoints, huh? Okay, that's weird. I like the color scheme here, though. Yeah, what's with all these little save points? Oh, okay, that's a building there. That looks like an abandoned building. But I don't know, what the heck, let's sit down and, oh, great. Well, at least I will have a building to run into from the storm. Even if it is a corrupted evil building. Oh yeah, these are funky. Floating crystals. What do I do here? Yeah, that's right. Just mining beam them. Yes, the Sentinel is pissed at me. I'm going to escape from that Sentinel by running into this building. What's your problem? You're not supposed to be able to come in here. Yeah, No Man's Sky is pretty. It's a pretty game. More goop for my goop collection. Yeah, but the storm looks like it's still going on out there. One of my favorite things in this game is when it's storming out and you get into your ship and it feels exactly like you're getting rained on really hard and you make it to your car or onto a bus or something, and you have that, you know, there's that sound of the rain just pelting everything from, you know, from outside, hearing it from inside. Oh right, Polo's just yelling at me. I don't necessarily want to wait out this storm. Sheepers. Okay, well, this is just brutal. Alright, I'm just going to try to get in some scans here, because And yeah, I was really hoping for some fossils or like some salvage or something, but I just, yeah, I've been kind of striking out looking it up, looking like landing on planets without a lot of those things. Curiously, these things don't actually show up as planets. Sorry, as plants. I guess they're just too big or something, or they don't... I mean, I can definitely understand why they don't want the player to be able to destroy those for just, like, collision and sim reasons and stuff. I don't know. Yes, yes, my shields are just getting burned through right now. Is that a... No, okay, so that... The visibility is so bad that I thought that that might have been a cave entrance, but it was just the shadow of these gigantic plants. Yep, same deal. This is brutal. Yep, critical exposure in 24 seconds. Cool. These animals don't seem to mind. Alright, you know what? I'm going to have to dig myself a little emergency hole here. This is what you got to do sometimes. Ah, there we go. Yep, sometimes you get caught in a rainstorm and you just got to dig yourself a hole and hide in it for a little while. I don't... Let's see. Yeesh, I'm still taking some damage from inside here. Let's see, can I craft a battery maybe? I'm sure I can. Alright. Happy to pay that price to get my heat protection back up. Oh geez, Sentinels are frenzied on this planet. Ugh. Okay, this planet just sucks. That's all there is to it. Yes, yes, I'm being attacked. These annoying little Sentinels. My jetpack is more or less fully upgraded, so it's never super difficult to get away from these things, but, you know, they get you to move. Wait, are you kidding me? I thought I got away. Alright, I'm going to run away. Yeah, let's actually... Oh, geez. Oh, okay. I just realized that I didn't shake these guys properly. Nuts. Yeah, I don't think I'm ready for a Sentinel space battle. I mean, I could do it. I guess I could fight a few of them. Alright, guys. Alright. I just want to escape. That's all I really want. Are they going to follow me into the atmosphere? Oh, right. It's storming down here. Oh, hey, look, it's a rainbow. Yeah, this was also added in the update. Yeah, so this world is, like, pretty terrible. It storms all the time and the Sentinels hate you, but at least there are rainbows. If I fly towards the rainbow, is that... will I be able to see it more clearly? No, it's fading, because that's how rainbows work. Damn. Alright, well... I don't know how to shake these Sentinels, like... I guess I could land. Boo. Ah, jeez. Deadly pressure variations and frenzied Sentinels. This planet is the worst. But it's pretty. It's pink and has gigantic mushrooms and rainbows. Gravitinos. Sometimes, you know, you're having a dramatic moment and you just gotta stop and appreciate it with a photo. Okay, if I hide out from these Sentinels, where are they? I think I've given them the slip. Yes. Alright, that's one less thing to worry about. I'm still caught outside in the middle of a boiling rainstorm. Oh, jeez, what? Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I guess I'm in a cave now. Whew. Well, it's actually comparatively peaceful here. Let's get these little purple plants. Kind of like that. Yeah, Gravitino balls tend to show up on planets with angry Sentinels as like kind of a risk-reward thing. This cave system certainly seems to stretch on for a while. I really just want to get back to my ship. I was all ready to leave this planet. I guess the wind is still making it down to these tunnels. I have a more unsophisticated technological assumption on why these things are still blowing, but I like the explanation that the wind is down here in these tunnels a little better, so. What is this green thing? Okay, yeah, that's just a cave marrow plant. Just a resource. Alright. Oh, geez, another storm? Alright, I just need to get to my ship and get the heck out of here. Which is... okay, I see it. Visual contact. Oh, hey, creature. Let me guess. Do you hate me? Are you going to attack me on sight? Does not fear death. Okay, yeah, so that creature is absolutely going to attack me. I don't know why it's shaking its head like that repeatedly, but it will absolutely attack me if it becomes aware of me, so... yeah. Yeah, that definitely... beautiful but deadly is definitely a No Man's Sky planet, you know, summary that occurs. Definitely far from... that's far from the only type of planet in this game. There are many peaceful, gentle worlds of great beauty and so forth. But, beautiful but deadly is definitely a thing you'll get sometimes. Ah, jeez, my jetpack's all out, so I just kind of got to scramble up. Rough. Rough. almost there. Oh my god, that sentinel's squawking at me. Alright, I'm going to take one more shot just to remember this world by. There we go. Let's get the heck out of Dodge. Oof. Well, let's not go back there. Yeah, I was actually going to go to the Anomaly and pay Nada and Polo a visit and maybe spend some of my some of the Quicksilver I've been getting for scanning stuff for them. Speaking of which, let me just turn in the last of my... I've gotten a lot of Quicksilver out of this mission. I don't know if, like, I can earn an open-ended amount of it or what, but yeah. I'm a little surprised that the update's been out for, you know, a good, like, probably going on 12 hours, and it's still only at, the community mission is still only at 1%. I would have thought with, like, a whole, you know, the better part of a day of players all over the world, that it would be further along. Let me check this progress screen. Okay, so yeah, it says here that Tier 1 is at 7%. So maybe the one on the bottom right of the HUD just isn't updating properly. I can never turn off my game development brain, you know. I'm always trying to figure out what a bug's actual behavior is, so I can fix it. Or, you know, file a bug. Alright, yeah, let's go to... Alright. I think I'm keen to call it a... Oh, there's pirates in this system, I guess, huh? What's up with you? Okay, so yeah, these are just pirates. I refuse. And no, you're not going to destroy me because I'm about to jump into this, Did it just fly out of there, or fly through there? Whatever. I have no time for you pirates. I don't know if they'll be waiting for me when I come out of here. So yeah, this is the Anomaly, which is a weird metal space station slash ship type thing that these two, my old friends Nada and Polo, live in. That's Nada. That's Polo. And yeah, they just chill out here. They are fugitives from their races. Nada is a Korvax who is cast out of their society. Polo is a Gek who also fled their society. And yeah, they just got a little station here where they, like, I don't know, do research and stuff. They always have like a free weapon that you can take or leave. Doesn't seem that great compared to what I've got. Yeah, and like throughout the game you can like bring discovery data to them and they'll give you rewards for it. I've kind of passed all of those milestones now, so I'm going to go to the room where the robot that Polo has built to give rewards for the community missions lives. So yeah, it boots up, and then it is basically like a little store for spending your Quicksilver. I have a lot of it. Let's see. Yeah, so these items that are shaded out here, I think, are items that have already... that have not yet been unlocked, because the community hasn't reached that tier. So yeah, I guess the more plants people scan, the more we'll get access to those animations. And then this thing. I like this thing. I don't know what that is, but I want a pocket reality generator. And then this helmet, which also looks pretty cool. Eye of the Korvax. Yeah, there's also fireworks. That's something that they added for this update. I haven't used them yet. Aim away from living creatures, not recommended for indoor use. That sounds like good firework advice. It does kind of look like Johnny 5, doesn't it? Yeah. And this is just a bunch of stuff I've already bought. I guess this is the one bronze thing that I was getting bronze. I was getting the blueprints for bronze everything, so I could stock the gift shop at the Pilgrim Star Visitor Center. Yeah, and then there are like these helmets that are like very expensive, but I don't necessarily like the look of either of them. Like, they're cool, but they're not necessarily like, they're not necessarily my fashion sense, kind of, you know. There's a few decals that I haven't gotten, and then just like the silver versions of all these things. So I've got enough bucks that I could like probably get a lot of these, but I also kind of want to hold on to it. Yeah, and this is just like an emote. No problem. Oh, it's an underwater. No problem to other aquatic explorers. Okay. Yeah, I've kind of gotten like the cool stuff that I want right now. So I guess I'll just hold on to this stuff. I could get more fireworks. Just save up for a big, huge thing. But, I don't know. Yeah, I'll hold on to my bucks for now, because I really want to see what those community tiers do. Alright. So I didn't end up doing anything there, but whatever. And yeah, there is one more place I want to show y'all before I call it a night here, and that is what the space station looks like in an abandoned system. Oh, the entrance must be on the far side. So there's no ships flying around here. And as we get around to the entrance of it, we can kind of tell that something is not right here. And the usual blue glow of the docking port. Yeah. These things always look super cool. Yep. So yeah, this station had some troubles. So let's go in and see what it looks like. And yeah, it's dark in here, and there's sparking wires, so something really bad happened here. And it's super, like, in the abandoned systems, it's unclear what exactly happened here, but, you know, I don't know if it's related to some story stuff that they're building up, or it's just like the Sentinels came and destroyed this place. But yeah, it's like super scary and ominous in here. Like, it's really dark compared to like the bright lighting of the usual like space station sort of thing. And it doesn't have the big mall-like deck of the newer space stations. It's like these, you know, cramped hallways. So yeah, the first time I went into one of these, I was super apprehensive, you know, because it's like, oh man, what is this? Am I just gonna have a full-on Space Hulk experience in here? People have left their little Rubik's Cubes and stuff around. And yeah, the trade terminal still works. So it's kind of still a semi-functional system. Actually, yeah, I could stand to fill up on this. Also, yeah, I was out of batteries, wasn't I? Get some more of those. You know, I'm just shopping in the middle of this, you know, terrifying death world. Yeah. And then, yeah, I've got a pass that will get me into the more protected areas. Okay, it's just like a server room kind of thing. Yep. Yep, there's some sort of creepy-ass simulation running here. Don't know what that's supposed to do. I guess this was an abandoned Korvax station. Because this is Korvax architecture we're seeing here with the round doorways and just the architectural shapes. And yeah, I guess there's maybe one other room in here. So yeah, I can definitely like. It feels like they're going to add something onto this at some point, right? There will be an update that adds like scary, you know, Space Hulk type stuff, where you know those monstrosity creatures that chase after me are or something. And yeah, I love that like some of these rooms are just untouched, like they're actually fine. You know, like these plants are still growing and everything. I really dig the whole, you know, it's that great space horror vibe of like some stuff is actually okay because when humans go into space, we design these systems to like sustain themselves for a while, but then other parts of it are just like wrecked and super scary because it's just dark and broken and alone feeling. Yeah, but you still get a really nice view outside the window, so yeah, and also, yeah, these teleporters, I believe, are still fully functioning. Yeah, see, I can just go home to... I can just go back to whatever base I want. So, yeah. And I guess that's just because they wanted to provide the right kind of, yeah. Yeah, the other thing that I really feel like they could add, probably, is derelict freighters. So just like the freighter that you saw me enter, like, early on in this stream, just have those... like freighters like that just floating out in space and all the lights are off or something, and you can still dock with them and go inside them, and then you go up into like a modular dungeon type thing where there's some kind of scary sentinel or monstrosity kind of thing or whatever. You know, that's not a small amount of work for sure, but it would like be a cool thing to go in and like, you know, it would feel like a dungeon. So yeah. Anyway, so I teleported back to my home planet here, and which is where we started. And yeah, I'm about ready to call it a night, I guess. I did take... I guess there was a... Oh no, I guess I did turn it in. Okay, yeah. I had a... yeah, I had a photo quest with my... this is the overseer who works at my base. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, and they'll just give me a new mission. Yeah, so this Gek wants me to take a photo. What do they want me to take a photo of? Locate a frozen world. Well, that's easy. And then my farmer here wants me to like collect a certain amount of a specific plant. My scientist here wants some... okay, yeah, I want some mineral data. Sure, I've got that. My weapons mount, my armorer here has made a weapon for me. It's kind of broken or something. I don't want it. And then my exocraft technician here will give me like a timed driving mission, but whatever. Anyway, that's, you know, and there's a whole quest chain that involves getting these, in which you get these specialists, and, you know, like they help you build all the tech necessary to like create a base like this, and then after you finish their quest lines, they have these recurring quests, which is what I just got from them. Yeah, and I left some, yeah, maybe to close out here, I left some message nodes around this. Yeah, so I just, you know, like if anybody ever visits this world, I wanted to like leave some notes that sort of explain what this place is and what it means to me. This world has had many incarnations. I actually claimed this base, like this planet, I claimed it way back in, I think, after the first update, like the Foundation update. It was a snow world in those days. And yeah, it had, yeah, so it looked completely different. It had different life forms on it. Yeah, and then the Atlas Rises update, I guess, made it like a lush planet with like orange grass and blue water. And then the next update turned it into like this barren world. But just today, there is, you know, because the latest update added, you know, some life basically to these. There is life. There are creatures on these planets for the first time in a long time, and yeah, it's like this weird crystalline life form, and it's very shy. Like if I ever get too close to it, it runs away. But yeah, so even though my home planet is all weird and corrupted now, I'm happy that it has at least those little crystal weirdos running around on it. Let's see, and there's like a couple of other little notes that I've left for visitors. Yeah, I'm just describing during what it was like. Atlas Rises, lush blue grass, Foundation and Pathfinder, icy oceanic. And yeah, and then the last note is my homeworld for over 2 years now. It's pretty weird to think that like this planet or something at its same location is a virtual place that I was playing on 2 years ago in November of 2016. Because that's been a while at this point. Life has changed a little. The world has changed for sure. Anyway, that's something that I love about this game, is that it gives you basically infinite amounts of virtual space and then lets you decide what about it and what parts of it are meaningful to you. I think that's what the base building really does as far as plugging into the overall concept of the game and the promise of it. So yeah. Alright, so I think that's about it. That's about all I've got. So yeah, those are all my bases. That's some of the stuff that's happening these days in No Man's Sky. And yeah, thanks so much for watching this stream. It's been fun just talking out all this stuff that, that you can do in this game. Yeah, and it's good. I don't know if this game is on sale right now in some of the holiday sales, but, I'm assuming that it's like less than $60 and you get like a ridiculous amount of stuff to do. So if you don't have this game and it seems cool, then yeah, it's worth picking up. It's also got multiplayer, so you can do pretty much all of what I just showed you, but with a buddy. And that's pretty cool too. So yeah, but yeah, thanks very much for watching. I hope y'all have a good rest of your week, long weekend in some people's case. Okay, yeah, it's 50% off on Steam right now, so yeah, it's a pretty good deal if anything about this game. Yeah, if you like exploring and space and whatever. And yeah, they're going to do more updates in the future, apparently, so yeah. Well, cool. Thank you again, and have a lovely evening. Yeah, I'll see you around. See you if, see some of you next Wednesday for WOD Wednesday. We'll play a random Doom level, as we do every week at 7 p.m. Pacific time. But, yeah, thanks for watching.